Yeah. Anyway, let's get started. Everybody who is going to be here is going to be here, and we're not. I'm not. So, we are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunday game over at Rakta's old channel. We are in the middle of an ongoing battle situation. It's one fight after the other. It's been brutal. You have parried two attacks that were trying penetrating deep into Greyhawk's territory. However, the weather is still getting colder and colder. You have to find out where that's coming from, and you have to plan for what you're going to do next as well. So, without further ado, let's start with the introductions. Let's start with Robert.
What's up? I'm playing Lael the monk, who is an elf and doesn't really wear a lot of clothing, so he's probably freezing to death slowly. But no, he has key powers. That keeps him warm at heart.
Yeah. Next up, we have Pandaren.
Yep, and I'm playing Axios Kyrakis, the Tiefling Eloquence Bard, who is from the Hot Zone, so also probably freezing himself to death currently.
That we have Griffin. Sorry about that.
Yep, and I'm playing Baron Kicks the Shield, the heroic, cool, calculating Dragonborn fighter. He's probably the leader.
And last but certainly not least, Theta.
Plantavian. I used to own a mansion.
Okay, then.
Definitely not Gar.
Yes, Marcus came by to find something about my mansion. I can't remember what.
It was something important, obviously.
But he didn't get it.
Gar doing something important? Couldn't be. Nah, not the Gar I know.
Anyway, let us begin. I put you in. You should be on the start map and the main map. As you can see, the two forces have been blocked. However, it's getting colder and colder, and it's time to find out what to do. You guys are gonna do next.
Well, we have information that we can maybe check up on, yeah?
What's that? Did you find something?
You don't remember from last time?
No, I don't.
It was we got some information about the two different commanders and leaders and who their overall leader is.
Yeah.
You know, Azar Kal, who's the claw of the goddess, and apparently this is some sort of cult we can look up. But I'm more worried about the other two, which is we got the East General, which is Koth, and the other one, which scares me the most, is the Ghost Lord, which I don't know about you, but that sounds like either Necromancer or Lich to me.
Or he's a rogue.
Yeah.
Could be that too, but first thought was me, Necromancer or Lich, maybe both.
Or just a very marketeer.
Wasn't super scared of the Stag Lord, not super scared of the Ghost Lord. I want to point out that the Stag Lord himself was not a stag.
No, but ghost usually implies dead.
Or, hard to see. Like a rogue.
Yeah. Or both.
He did have a helm that was a skull of a stag, so.
Yeah, but I mean, that didn't... Okay, wearing the skull of something you killed doesn't make you that thing that you killed.
We also know that the Eastern Army has about 2 different legions with it. We already took out a front advance, but they definitely have a lot more troops, right? So
yeah,
we probably need to consider where we're going to go and take the fight out next.
I mean, the one in the west was fairly broken after the battle. So I think we can focus our efforts here in this area.
We could, although we slowed them down also, so they might not be a threat immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
We just need to continue to be aware of where they might try to come. And the winter does still worry me, and I have to wonder, if their plan is to freeze over everything here and stomp over it, what do they plan to do to protect their own troops, then? I didn't necessarily see them wearing heavy furs or anything, or have any other
Well,
I mean,
he
they-
said they
Good
were
solution.
prepped for winter.
Yeah, they were prepared for this.
Mhm.
And they do have giants with them as well as trolls, ogres, that sort of thing. So it's not just, orcs and hobgoblins.
Oh yes, they cut holes in the giants and they just stay inside those as they march. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to go
the
there.
Tauntaun.
All
Hmm.
those tauntauns, man.
So I feel we do need to get more information. We need to find out where this magic is coming from, and be ready for whatever their next attack may be.
Well, if the issue is that we also have like the magical snow and all that going out right now, perhaps maybe we could. Do we have anybody who actually knows wizardry that could, maybe pinpoint the location of it or locate where it's coming from?
No, that guy died.
Well, I mean, lots of people
While
know
ago.
wizardry, but nobody plays that game anymore.
You know, he kind of had to fight an avatar of death. Didn't go well for him, apparently.
Let's see. I do have Carpathia, and I'm not sure how far their magic could go, but perhaps they might have some idea.
You mean that
You can
guy
ask.
who sat on a river of blood?
No, that's the Sphinx, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
We
Sphinx
could also
actually.
just ask the Sphinx. They might know.
Yeah,
that
that's
is the
Carpathia.
Sphinx.
That's Carpathia.
Ah,
Yeah.
but can you solve the riddle?
Mhm.
I did last time. I'll just
Um,
keep solving more of them.
So what you're gonna
There-
summon her? You're gonna summon her. Or you going to?
Is that alchemist guy, is he a wizard or just alchemist?
He's a wizard.
So I guess there's that guy too.
Which alchemist guy?
Yep.
You mean the old guy in the woods with the bear?
No.
No, the
The
one
one-
with the daughter who we
Who-
gave
yeah.
stuff to brew potions.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, we have a whole lot more troll blood.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while to process, at least a month or so between all the doses. But yeah, if you handed it to his daughter, yeah, they can.
Mhm.
They can.
Oh, you mean
They
the
can do it.
architect, the wizard architect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's the alchemist, right? The daughter is the alchemist.
both of them
Yes.
are alchemists.
Well, I just know that he had the plan to build like dimensionally fortified buildings. Was his whole deal.
Yeah,
Which
and,
he did, I believe.
Oh yeah, right
And
now
I'll-
after he got dimensionally invaded and smacked around on the head because he's a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. Who are we talking about?
And how do you know about that?
I don't. I'm talking out of character. That's my defense. And while I'm talking out of character, did we ever signal to Greyhawk?
Several
Um,
times.
believe
The
so,
entire
yeah.
last session.
In fact, you got a message from Safeton saying that they have been heavily raided by orc pirates.
Right. So is that implication there then that Greyhawk is sending its reinforcements to Safeton instead? I see you're shrugging, but that's not an answer.
I legitimately, I don't think we ever got a confirmation of what Greyhawk's doing.
Yeah, you actually didn't communicate directly with Greyhawk.
Well, no, we wouldn't. We would have gone through Hardby
It'll-
to Greyhawk, which is why I don't understand why Safeton. Somebody else must have a connection to Safeton.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I have a
our
friend.
connection would have been send a message to Hardby. Hardby then sends a message to Greyhawk, and then
Yeah.
back along that line, our information is sent back via the messaging stones, which would be near instantaneous.
Yes. On that front, basically what's happening is that Greyhawk is trying to divide their forces because they originally sent the original set of reinforcements were being sent to Hardby, right? And because of the whole situation, reinforce that situation there. And then they got news that they were also being attacked in Safeton, and also that Narwhal was the threat. But you guys are taking care of the Narwhal threat, so they split their forces and sent more Marines to Safeton and Hardby, as well as regular troops who are now on their way. So that's a thing. So the message is you gotta hold the line or do something to disrupt the enemies.
You say regular troops are on their way here?
They're on the way. Yeah, they might be on the way here as well.
Well, no, that's what I'm asking, because the way you phrased that, you made it sound like there's forces on their way to Hardby, Safeton, and here. That's what I'm
Yes.
trying to clarify.
But Safeton and Hardby are were the priority. There were forces that were going to move first.
Well, yeah, because we're 2 weeks away from Greyhawk. But Hardby, no, is it Hardby or Safeton? Safeton is a week away from us, right?
Yes.
Right, and Safeton has a teleportation circle, which means it would be easier to send forces to Safeton, overcome the problem there.
Where is the teleportation circle?
I don't know. You mentioned it before, and it was there.
Yeah, that would be in the Sage's Tower. That's like 4 or 5 people at the same time. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, but it can operate constantly, because the problem is that to create a teleportation circle, you have to use it every day for a year. So 4 or 5 people at a time on constant use is still better than a week's travel.
Anyway, that's what they're doing.
I'm sorry. The problem is I'm trying to be in the world, right? I'm not trying to metagame this. Okay, let's move to the next map and the next battle. I'm trying to be my character, live in the world, right?
I get it.
Every time you say, "Oh well, never mind," anyway, it's like it's dismissing it. Like, stop thinking that shit. I didn't make a map for that. So
what I'm saying is that they are moving troops, but there's one of the reasons why you don't simply use teleportation circles for regular troops. You also have to move supplies and all that kind of thing. So they can move some reinforcements into Hardby, into Safeton, no problem. If they actually have
no. My implication was that they would solve the problem at one of those two. Well, it had to be Safeton. That they would solve the problems with the forces that were going to send to Safeton and us all at Safeton, and then move the forces from Safeton to us, which would take longer. It's really helping you if you didn't want to send us any help immediately, because what I'm saying is it would make more sense logically that they would fix the problem at one of those 2 locations before they sent anything to us.
Which that's what they're doing.
Right. I think the best way to think about this is Stargate, right? You send a few things at a time through the Stargate, but you can't send everything all at once. That's not how the Stargate works. That's essentially how teleportation circle works.
Yeah, so like I said, their priority has been first Hardby because of the first news that they got, then Safeton, then you. Also, the fact that it's snowing heavily here is also making travel slower as well. They have to prepare for that as well, because I'm sure you told them, hey, by the way, there's a blizzard here. If you're gonna send anybody, send them to be prepared.
Right. But a week is still better than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
especially when lives are on the line.
Yeah. So basically, the orders from the general basically is do what you can here to disrupt operations of the enemy. Especially if you could deal with this whole magical nonsense, right? The better. Otherwise, that will help us. So when we get here, we'll be better, prepared.
Okay. So as far as measures for figuring out what we're going to do between that here and then, let's say we see what our information network shows up.
Well, yes, if you're that's what the question I was having before we got into a whole troop, which is important, and it's part of your planning. Let's not dismiss that. You were going to make either the asking is whether you're going to ask the Gyno Phoenix to come to you, or you were going to her.
I will go ahead and take a horse and go out there myself.
Okay.
Do you want any of us to come with you, or no?
I should be fine.
Well, the thing is, that's what, 20 hours away?
Well, it's by horse, so it's a bit faster, so I should be back in 2 to 3 days.
Wasn't it increased something through the forest? I can't remember. And it's snowing?
Mm-hmm.
It will take time. That's all I got.
Yeah, but you're also the Baron. I don't think you should be leaving by yourself, as much as I hate you.
Well, then come with me, then.
I mean, if you have the ability to summon the Sphinx here, the Sphinx can fly. That's even faster than a horse.
Well, that's primarily the problem. I don't have a mystical stone that I can just call other people to come visit me.
Oh, I thought the GM was saying that you had an ability to call it, because...
I think the summon here would be, quote-unquote, literally sending someone else out with a message, and then they come here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a sending spell?
No.
Braid did.
Well, Axios has been contacted by a summoning spell, but
Yeah.
Yeah, not a spell that I actually have.
Again,
Okay,
this
then.
this isn't really a problem. I'll just go out there,
Well-
I'll ask, and I'll come back.
you
Might
remember what is
pick
our
it up.
what is our border territory friend who got killed? His territory called
That was Castle
true.
Mastrin.
Mastrin.
Mhm.
So you remember Mastrin's territory got absolutely stomped through, and it's entirely possible that they've got scouts out there and forces we don't know about. So you go trotting off there on your own for 3 or 4 days.
Well, this is what the horse is for.
The horse isn't going to protect you.
Okay.
Again, I'm saying that you're asking all of your territory to say, hey, I, the guy in charge, am going to go leave by myself on a horseback through a war zone.
Then here's the second option. We will go explore in force what has happened to Maestrin and his territory, and then I will break off, go deliver my message, and then return to the group. It'll be closer. We'll be under guard for most of it. We'll secure any territory that we need to. We'll solve all problems.
If only you could solve a problem by saying, we'll solve all problems. Hey,
Uh,
Axios, what about your girlfriend? Isn't she on the way? In that way
Wait, what?
direction? I'm sorry, your girl on the side.
What?
What?
You don't remember that real ugly woman that came here? Asked you to,
I think she's standing behind you.
No, I'm not talking about that beautiful woman that he should have gotten married to ages ago. I'm
Are
talking
you
about
talking
that
about the
green lady.
one the satyr got me into
Oh
a
yeah,
situation?
I'm glad you said it out loud because I thought
Fuck
it would be
that,
real
bro.
awkward.
Fuck that.
Yeah. You see what's her name?
Fuck that.
Let's see who's
You know,
what's her
those
name?
are pretty powerful people, right?
So is his
And?
wife B?
Now might be the time to call back in on that favor.
You see Sevda roll her eyes
What the
behind
fuck are
you.
you
Like,
talking about? Okay, two things. I'm pretty sure she owes me nothing
I mean, it all depends on what job you think you did.
because second of all, how do you know about that?
Scrying?
Yeah, fuck.
Oh, seriously, I can scry from my my tower. Anything that happens in the region, I can do. Once a day.
Inquiry?
Once a day, I can do it once a day, and I think I was specifically all about it that day.
Inquiry to see if he's lying, I guess? I don't know. Or insight?
yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt the scrying thing.
I don't doubt the scrying either, but did he actually scry?
I mean, you
Well,
can go
the
back to the
problem is-
VOD. I was saying it a lot.
More important, it's that you're sticking to a guy who is a total knight, apparently.
Yeah.
And he's talking about scrying. You're like,
I mean, let's face it, I'm just keeping up the name thing as a joke. I'm pretty sure everybody knows. I gave it away
Okay,
pretty
Gar.
quick.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of.
Take what away?
Candy. The children.
Oh,
It's the
I love
chivalrous
candy.
thing to do.
I need to get some candy. Well, still. Then that is my plan. I will go out and force to Lord Maestrin's territory, see what has become of him, and then go ahead and receive my guidance from the Sphinx.
you do go to Lord Maestrin's, well, the remains of his castle. You see, basically what you notice at first is that you see these mounds
Mhm.
of snow. It's like little mounds, big mounds, right? And you see that that basically several of the walls of the castle have been, brought down, and then you see huge mounds as well. And sticking from one of these mounts, you see like a large foot, and you realize that these mounts are the remains of all the attackers of this place. So this was a brutal battle,
Mhm.
right? This was actually a large force that attacked, and so it was a brutal battle, but eventually they were overwhelmed. And as you basically come in, you see you see dozens of almost all humans surrounded by 2 or 3 times their number of goblins and orcs. And in one corner, you see basically sort of mastering, him and his bodyguard. Like first, you see the body of the bodyguard face down. We recognize the armor and all that. The fact that he has a shaved head, and then several steps behind them, against the wall, you see sort of the body of Master. With his symbol painted on his black armor, his weapon, and all that. His shield. His shield has been broken, like from a large hit. In fact, you see like his shield arm is just sort of completely bent out of shape. Whatever hit him was. But he died fighting. Definitely, you can see traces of dried, frozen blood in his morning star. But yeah,
Kix is just like looking on at his fellow lord, going, "Tragic. It never had to end this way." Wait, is that plate meal?
It is full plate.
I mean, he's not using it anymore.
I mean, yeah, he was also kind of an issue for like everyone.
Remember what his plate looks like, though.
Just politically.
You'd have to be stuck to that look.
Kix will go ahead and collect the equipment of the two, put it away, like, with someone to carry it back to the keep. But he'll go ahead and, like, make a show of, like, burying the bodies for now, and then someone can go ahead and move them later.
Yeah, I mean, you have your forces with you, because otherwise unless you had a dig spell or something similar, it would be almost impossible, because the ground is very much hardly frozen. When the snow goes away in the spring, this place is just gonna be horrible. Because you have giants. They attack with hill giants, and they're like 4 or 5 hill giants, which they use as sort of basically artillery and heavy. And you see probably more than 100 or more orcs and the equivalent number in goblins. You don't see a lot of hobgoblins here, though. That's very interesting. They decided not to use their hobgoblins here.
Right. This was more the distraction or horde for Orcs, I suppose.
Yeah.
So let's see. So overall, state of the castle. It has been broken into. Things are broken. It's not completely beyond disrepair or fortifying, right?
Oh, but it will take significant work, and it will be expensive.
And probably still better than just standing in open ground, even then.
Yeah. You do find that as your troops explode, that a lot of the food and water is more or less still there. So you could rescue that, which lets you to believe that that while the battle was violent, it was also relatively quick. Right? This was an overwhelming force that they took the castle by storm, right? And were able to overcome its defenses relatively quickly. In fact, you find, and when they go inside, you find a couple of bodies of bugbears. And you feel like you see several servants and other guards that are maybe inside that were basically stabbed to death. So, they probably were able to infiltrate some people here. And probably open them. In fact, when you come back, you see the body of a bugbear, and the arm has been cut off, and the arm basically was holding the the mechanism to open the main gate.
Oh, well, that's fascinating. So did they sap their way in? Well, something I guess to look around for. Ultimately, I probably want to at least station someone or something here, at least to keep them from like coming into these ruins and then fortifying it, and then we have to excise them later. This technically probably falls under Pascarel now, because I think the thing is actually like right here. This X.
Well, I mean, it would be contested, because remember that Pascarel doesn't have an allegiance to anybody but themselves.
Yeah, Pascarel is here. Our territory doesn't interfere with them, but Maestrin's castle is here, and there's nobody handling Maestrin's castle right now. So for the sake of the war effort, there's probably going to be at least somebody there making sure that nobody takes this fortification and then uses it against us.
Pretty
to
much.
And we're already
clarify,
allied with Pascal anyway and helping them.
just to
They'll
clarify,
understand.
you said before it was like devastated. Like it was a complete ruin. Maestron's Keep.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not really something somebody could hold, right?
I mean, it could be fortified if you have the wood and all that, but it would not be very good. I mean, it's better than being in the outdoors, right, in the open country, but it's not a very good
You
fortification.
remember? Sorry, it's the only example I can think of that I can actually imagine. The Game of Thrones, when the kids all get captured in that place, they got devastated by dragonfire.
Yeah.
Like that devastated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's basically nothing. It's nothing to nobody.
I was
least
imagining
it-
more just like the gates open and like a wall's been torn down.
Yeah.
Well, you just said
Not
yeah
com-
to both of them.
Yeah, so this is okay on a scale of 1 to 100.
I would say it's about 60% or more devastated.
So it's 40% there.
40%.
Okay.
Yeah, which is not a lot.
Not a lot.
Eminently usable still, so like I said, I'm doing my due diligence ultimately. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, so I'm not there. I can't suggest otherwise.
And I'm gonna go ahead and write down Maestron's
Body armor.
plate mail.
Which I'm sure Maestron was the same size as you, right?
Let's take a look.
You only mocked the guy
Uh,
for being an emo kid. I'm sure he was the same size as a built Dragonborn.
I'll have to adjust the straps a little bit, I think.
Also, it has basically the Lord of Tyranny symbol on the chest as well of an evil deity.
That's true. I guess his bodyguard would technically have plate mail I should probably wear instead.
Yeah.
Because that is less decorated in such a way.
How many do we know? Like, do we actually have numbers of survivors at all, or no?
No, there are no survivors.
No survivors whatsoever. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any way to investigate how these hobgoblins got inside the keep?
Yes.
How would we do that?
That would be with investigation.
I know that. I'm asking for the group because I'm shit at investigating.
Well,
There we go. I've
Baron's
rolled
the only one
investigation.
there, right?
Yeah.
Because his whole ploy was to leave alone with the little army.
Yeah. You recognize that basically, and they probably missed this when it happened, that as you're investigating, you realize that this keep had been originally abandoned about a year and a half ago or more, was rebuilt, but you find essentially in a corner what looks like escape hatch that was probably missed during the battle. So whoever was here before Maestron originally retook the castle, because remember he said that he was going to retake it because he had lost his father to the orcs, and then he retook it, and now the orcs have come back again. So essentially, but apparently he even didn't know or ignored the fact that the castle had a escape route, but whoever happened to be there before knew it and exploited it.
Well, his folly, I suppose.
Which fits with him being an arrogant, well, little shit, basically.
Exactly. I can deal with an escape tunnel. I'll be the one to use it. No one else knows about it except the previous occupants.
The keep is 16 miles away from us.
Yeah, it's
On
2
next away, yeah.
hexes.
Yeah.
Right, and the horizon is what, 24 miles away?
The horizon?
Yeah, the horizon. Well, on Earth, the horizon is 24 miles away, give or take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if that's 16 miles away, if somebody was to say, I don't know, light a massive fire or something, we'd be able to see it from the keep.
Well, technically, no, it's not 16 miles. It's let me see, because you cover 8 miles.
Yeah, every time we move through a hex, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, but the one reason why you're also moving so quickly to hexes was because you had Q helping you as well. So let me look at.
Well, no, I mean, I don't remember. No, because remember we were moving through hexes before we had Hugh too.
Yeah.
Because Hugh.
But we were moving
But
through
it-
slower.
Yeah, it took about a day to cross it.
Well, no, remember that was because we were exploring.
Exactly.
We got Hugh after we stopped exploring.
See your handouts.
So Hugh didn't
let's say
actually
we
speed
got
anything up. We just stopped exploring when we had Hugh around.
to the 0.5. That'd be like 11 kilometers, and so 11 kilometers to miles is 6. So if we had a 10-meter tower, we could see 6 miles.
Sorry, what? I didn't understand the math you were doing because you did half of it in your head.
Okay, I went to NASA. I looked up their calculation for distance to the horizon by height. I plugged in 10 meters on the assumption, there's probably a tall tower around here. Calculated out to kilometers and came out to 6 miles.
It takes about 8 hours to cross one terrain.
It's 3 miles to the horizon.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind. You didn't need to do all that math, Griff. I said
It
16
did
miles
fun.
to the horizon. You could have just said, no, it's like, divide that by 5. Alright, never mind.
Yeah,
I was just, my point was more so that maybe don't leave an army force here because his entire army got decimated. If there was just some way to signal us if something's coming through without losing a whole scout force.
That's what sentries are for, yes.
Yeah, you said leave your army unit behind. That's different than a sentry unit.
This is all very flexible, and I'm just trying to stay in the moment.
I understand, but we have to live with whatever you say.
I've given my intent, and I hope it is interpreted. That is
Well-
all I can hope for.
Let's try not to interpret stuff. Let's try and say what we mean.
I'm also low on blood sugar today, so I'm just not
Go in
entirely
the kitchen, get
into
yourself
fighting.
something to eat, some breaths, lay down.
I'm gonna get dinner soon enough. Don't worry. Still,
We don't need
I've
Griffin
investigated
die
the
on
castle.
camera.
I have figured out. We figured out how they got in. We found the condition of Maestron. He's dead. I've taken his stuff for good measure, which his armor probably will actually go back to his family at some point, and weapon. I'm keeping his bodyguard stuff though, at least for now. And now it's time to go find the Sphinx, who is fortunately outside their warpath.
Mhm. You go to the old temple, which it's in the snow. It looks absolutely beautiful, right? This is a clear place that had been blessed by the Lady of the Forest, and at first you see you see another mound, right, in front of what looks to be the center of the where the crystal sword that you placed there is still
Mhm.
there, and then the mound sort of checks off and the snow starts falling off, and a beautiful face comes out. A beautiful face comes out of it. Shakes her paws. Hate getting my paws wet.
Oh, you almost looked comfy there. Did I
Sorry.
disturb you?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was waiting for you to call me eventually, I suppose.
There's been a bit of a panic lately.
Yeah, I've had to dirty my paws with goblet blood. Some of these have tried to come into my territory, and well, the
And
god
they
is
made a
not.
terrible decision.
Yeah, the god is not by such filthy creatures. At least those who are not respectful of our terrain.
Mhm.
So, and she sort of drops on and puts herself paws, right, and takes her wings and then folds it back against almost like a cloak, right, around herself. It's
Mhm.
well, then, what can I do for you?
Well, enemies are finally at the gate, as I had long expected, and I'm sure you've no doubt noticed the incredible amounts of snow and inclement weather we've been having. We've since determined that there is a magical source to it, but we know not who or where exactly. I was hoping perhaps you might give us some guidance on all fronts.
Consulted with a lady. She is most displeased with this aberration of nature. She said, well, the way that goddesses usually speak, that you will find the star of morning, the frozen star, where you have battled the goblins before, where Acid and Claw were born.
Acid and Claw. The ruins? Where they experimented on those wyverns.
He shrugs, is like I said, speaking with divine beings. They're where they are.
I see. And I suppose, what have you seen of their simple movements? Of just the armies moving to and fro?
They have white scouts and seem to be well prepared for this weather, which is strange because at my few forays south, I know that they're much warmer lands. So they knew this was happening. Has to be part of their plan.
Indeed, they've prepared very well for it. And all we can do right now is react, I fear. Perhaps when spring comes, we can actually spring an attack.
Although, if I were to suggest case of mine, it would be that you have, for what I've seen, you have stopped them for now. If you can capitalize on that and swiftly strike at their heart before they recover. Like I said, I visit the south and the vast hordes of orcs and goblinoids. If they were to be truly mobilized, well, let's say that it would be nigh impossible to stop. If not for the dwarves to the west constantly pressing them on their front, Greyhawk would have fallen some time ago.
Then I suppose I shall prepare my friends for a heroic charge into the swarm. And hopefully, maybe we'll hit their heart along the way.
But a ruler like yourself is not without friends.
That is true.
She smiles. There are many ways to travel the world. Now, if you excuse me, I'm feeling a bit sleepy. All this weather, all this cold. She kind of checks this and she goes back to, going back to sleep.
Right, then a pleasant hibernation. All right. So, I've got my warning messages to deliver home now. So, mission has been accomplished. Field mission is over. Or should be.
So
you guys have 3-4 days to do stuff while I've been doing this?
Yeah.
In case you guys want to do something.
is there any way we could summon reinforcements at all?
Oh, you already have.
Hello, Robert.
Hello.
I've only been arguing this shit for 2-3 sessions.
Well, I missed one of them, to be fair.
To be fair, I've been pretty vocal. Obnoxiously so.
No, I know that, but I'm not talking about from Greyhawk. I'm thinking from elsewhere. Where else can we actually tap sources at this point?
Well, you already have elven archers on your side, as well as dwarven miners / infantry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the problem is that these attacks not only were coordinated, they also were coordinated to split your defenses and pin forces down. This was well done.
That and everywhere else the reinforcements would come from, you'd have to send for them by foot because our only communications network was Axios's one contact in Safeton? Yeah, Safeton. And Marcus's messaging stone to Hardby. And my idea about the portal apparently would just instantly kill a whole generation of children or something. I don't remember.
How about this? The elves that came, they're from the east or west? Just trying to remember.
They're from the west. They're from these forests right here.
Let me look on the map. I'm not looking at the map right
Remember that this area right here beyond the forest is the Elven Kingdom of Selene.
Northeast of
Yeah.
the hex that the Mystic Portal's in.
Yeah.
Okay.
The forests are mostly controlled by elves. Well, control as in, they live there. And the clan that you're allied with, they're the ones who send the archers.
All right. So they're probably not gonna send anybody else unless we ask. Or is it possible maybe to ask if they need help with anything? What do you think?
To what end?
To maybe find out more intelligence on what we're fighting, and maybe we can actually split their forces instead of them splitting us?
The armies are heading northwest, aren't they? So they are heading towards the forest, not from the forest.
The enemy armies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what information would they give us that we wouldn't be getting from the front already? Also, they're sending reinforcements to us. It'd be kind of weird for us to then go to them.
Well, do they know? All right. Do they actually have the information that we gained from the other attacks so far?
I mean, if you have an ambassador, dwarven ambassador, and a liaison from the elves, I'm sure you actually have shared that information with them if you were at the keep.
Well, the
And we're not.
ambassadors are at the keep, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be at
So
the
they had
keep.
first-hand knowledge of the attack.
Mhm.
But do they know? All right, let me rephrase. Are they made aware at this point of what we have learned since?
I don't see any
That's
reason why
exact-
we would have hidden any information from them.
I
Okay.
assume they do, unless you decide not to.
I just want to make sure because if they're not aware, I was going to rush up and go tell them. So
Well, it's been a number of days. I assume that you would have done
In
that
fact-
at any point.
in fact, they were the ones who told you that the forces that were trying to hit Narwhal were trying to use the forest as cover to get to them, and it was with their
Okay.
help that you were able to intercept them before. Yeah. Also, the basically now Pasquarel is basically mobilizing their militia fully. So you might be able to get another group of, but these would be, well, conscripts, right? Not conscript, but what's called a levy. Not great, but it's better than nothing. And Narwhal has at least their city guard plus civilian levies as well. So they're not completely defenseless, but if the force that it hit them would have had a significant advantage.
Is there any way we can get the kobolds as like a specialist group here?
Oh, you're already using them as scouts.
As
They're the ones
scouts.
that feeding.
Okay.
They're feeding
Yeah.
information about you.
I did not know that.
Highly
because
important, yeah.
I was not aware of that. Okay. I don't know. Like I feel like that we could probably do more with our allies. Maybe they need help or assistance.
I don't think leaving the area of our defense to go help our allies is the way to go. We need our allies to leave whatever they're doing to come help us. We're the front lines.
That's what I mean, though. If we can solve their issue, we can get them on the front lines.
You're
to
thinking
help
a lot
host
like
our
Braith
defense.
right now. I need you to start thinking a lot more like Lael.
I don't know who Braith is.
Yeah. Braith is a guy who got a lot of people killed in a bad military offensive. I heard.
But did he win?
No, in fact, almost all of his own forces died because he went off book. Tried to come up with his own strategies.
Yike.
Is that true?
Yes, you don't remember your own backstory? You don't remember the whole canyon fight?
I'm in character. I'm asking
Oh,
the others.
sorry.
Relax. It's all right.
Sounded like it was coming from Robert, not from
I don't
Robert.
know, man.
Marcus is quiet on the issue.
He is. Well, he doesn't know either. What do you think, Axios?
What do you expect me to know here?
No, what do you think we should do?
Oh, well, we can't really draw any more forces. We're kind of at where we're at. Got to work with what we've got. we know that there is eventually going to be a threat in the east, and we know there's some fuck shit with the magic. Now, because we destroyed the bridge, we have some time, which I think means we can go try and figure out the magic stuff with the information the Sphinx gave us.
I don't think we're aware of that yet because this is before
That the
we
Sphinx
get back to
will
the-
give us.
Yeah. Okay.
So my opinion is we try and use that time to do that.
I was really hoping you were
So
going
we
to give
don't
us
have
a
through
analogy
such a
about
harsh
war
winter.
based on musical notes.
Ah, yes. Well, you see, it's like
War
going
never
from a
changes pitch.
It's the leitmotif of life.
You know, it's like fortissimo, you know? We've
Yes.
gone from nothing to a lot of fucking shit very quickly.
The only analogy that I even knew. I'm glad you used it. Learned that from Epic Rap Battles of History.
Yep. Same.
So
But yeah,
okay,
my opinion is that.
couple of days are passing. You guys are discussing this, so you got a couple of days before your fearless leader returns with the information he got from the Sphinx. So you're working with the information he hasn't given you yet, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. We're that's why I guess we'll wait to see more information.
Yeah, we're not actually doing anything actionable, so we're not really doing anything with information we don't have.
Well, in that you said that there's troops coming from Pascarel. Is it possible to maybe like send somebody there to pick them up and bring them with us?
You already have one cavalry from them, which is their
Yep.
main force.
Also,
the
pick
le-
them up in what?
I don't know, like march them up here.
But if they're already marching here and they know where here is, how's that make them any
Yeah,
faster?
well,
I don't know. I'm
he's
just
kinda got
trying
a point.
to think of what we can do. Sitting by and doing nothing doesn't really help right now.
I understand that
Well-
could also be part of their tactic. Is that if they do nothing for a considerable amount of time, that we could just get impatient and fuck ourselves by doing
How's
something.
our supply status? Our supply status.
It's getting dicey because caloric intake goes up through the roof in deep winter. Remember, you have your soldiers. You also have civilians to protect.
Yeah.
There's a growing town that's attached to your castle.
So maybe
Those
we should
need-
try and figure out something for that.
Yeah.
If only we had gone with my solution to make that town full of skeletons.
Okay.
Well, look, if it was only skeletons that were farming the fields, then we wouldn't have to worry about them in winter, because they'd still just be skeletons.
So is there anything we can do to boost our food supply
You could start
While
rationing
we're-
it.
here? Yeah.
I mean, we have a number of underground caves. We could start growing moss and lichen.
Could grow mushrooms.
That too, but they all grow in the same environment. It's not a joke. If you're starving, snail farms are another thing. They also grow in caves.
Oh, I know you're not joking.
Hey, you want to starve, or do you want to eat moss and lichen?
I grew up eating moss and lichen. I'm fine. Don't worry.
You grew up in a town. What are you talking about?
No, I didn't. I've been.
You did? I saw your town. Okay, Lale, it's me, Gar. I know you're fucking stupid, so let me spell it out for you. I saw your town where your family got killed. I knew where you grew up.
I wouldn't mention family dying, Gar.
Why not?
I just smile. Besides, I knew it was you anyway.
Yes, I'm sure. You seem so on the ball.
I had a higher insight check earlier today. I knew it was you.
That doesn't tell you. I think you have a. Insight check is not the catch-all of skills, okay?
Yes, it is.
No.
Anyway,
Having 25 perception doesn't see down a mountainside. And 18 for insight doesn't tell you my life story on a glance.
oh well, you never shared that with us anyway.
Oh, that part. That was
Well, I mean, so I get So I guess then, and I show him the deck again. This is no longer needed.
I don't need it.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a gambler in me that so does want to draw it. At the same time, though, it's not necessary.
I'm glad it is no longer necessary, though.
So if you want to toss it in a fire, go right ahead. However, again, I am a gambler at heart, so it's very hard. The temptation is there.
If you change your mind, I will hold it for you.
You don't need to hold it for me. I gave it to you. I've taken everything else back, by the way. But that's yours.
You did? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, you weren't paying attention.
It's because I wasn't here.
I suppose on that note, I guess I should step back in.
It's also easier for inventory that I don't have to change my character sheet.
Yeah.
My friends, I return. What was this I heard about lichen?
Oh, eating lichen and growing it for food.
Ah, terrible. Well, I've come with a riddle instead of food.
Oh, gotta love those.
The answer is no.
I wish it was only that easy, but it should be pretty easy to solve. Lessons. Remind me of it. I believe it was the point where acid and wing met or something.
It's in
I
the
think.
chat.
You will find the frozen star where acid and claw were born.
Ah, there we go. Yes, you will find the frozen star where acid and claw were born.
Well, acid and claw refers to those wyverns, so do we know where they were born?
The
I
ruins.
do think they. Yeah, I could have sworn it was just to the north of us.
Then perhaps we should check that out right now.
Isn't that where Barracat joined the party, in fact?
No, he joined the party at a meteor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Somebody joined
Meteor.
the party there. We had other people that joined there. Was it Hugh?
Nobody
Hugh also joined at the
at
meteor.
And Hugh joined at the meteor.
Zigzag. Zigzag did at the
Yeah.
ruins, but I thought somebody else. Oh, no, that's right. You guys joined at the meteor and then went to the ruins.
Now, if I recall right, there is a crystal ball somewhere in the wizard dungeon. I think we could view it from here before we even head out.
What are you
Is that
talking
correct?
about?
We have a crystal ball.
No.
I thought so. Out of character, I swear I heard you guys talking about it a minute ago.
Well, there was a mention of scrying.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a part of the tower. I just don't. I never imagined a crystal ball.
Hey,
That's very Dragon Ball. The witch. What's her name?
Bobbity.
Baba. Bibbidi was her name, wasn't it?
No,
Bibbidi
that
was
was the evil one.
Well, in this case, that would fit.
Was it
but
Baba
anyway.
then?
Bobbity.
No, the witch.
Yes.
Well, that
yeah, it was-
you're
it
laughing
was-
lessons, but that's literally where Boom
I
gets
know,
his
I
name.
know.
Yeah,
But no,
the-
the witch.
Yeah.
The
The
witch was
witch.
Baba, yeah.
Yeah, the witch in
Yeah.
original Dragon Ball. You know, back when the pig and everything
Yep.
were very important.
It's just Bobbity.
No, it's Baba.
Baba, yeah, fortune teller Baba.
She's not
Oh,
related
okay.
to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo thing. She's
Oh,
somebody
okay.
else.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
I think she's
I
like
messed up
related to the
Dragon
whole
Ball
Baba
lore.
Yaga thing.
And remember,
Yeah.
Goku is named after a carrot.
Of course.
Classic.
Isn't he supposed to be named
His
after
last name
the-
Kakarot
no.
means carrot. Goku is related to the whole Journey to the West thing.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Monkey King. He is the Monkey King.
Well, that's why he has the tail.
Yeah.
Taking it
Yep.
literally.
Well, now that we've talked about all of our greatest fictional characters, does anyone know how to operate that?
I'm
It's
too
not.
busy to
It
the
doesn't
sensor.
exist. That's what.
The scrying sensor, or whatever
Dude,
means of
let-
scrying this tower
Let
had.
us gaze into the orb.
I assume I'm just using the dream portal for a different purpose.
No.
Do you think the dream portal would work?
Because I like the concept that it's already there for one thing, and another thing I like the whole idea of like swirling water, and you swirl the water and you see something.
Sure. I mean, there's also a divination font, so that could be it.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go down to the font downstairs and have a peek.
Can we read that font?
No, it's Wingdlings.
We haven't updated to the new. Yeah, I already lost the joke. I give up.
Yeah, I mean, I imported a whole new set of fonts, but it turned out to be Imperial Standard, and I couldn't read that.
There you go. You did better than me. Thanks.
Thanks, you Roman. Anyway, so you go down
Comic
there,
Sans.
right? Mhm. Nobody reads Comic Sans. Anyway, you go down there and it's dusty. Well, depends if anybody actually done any cleaning down there for a while.
I've been down here. What are you talking about?
Okay, but doesn't mean you actually clean anyway.
I
But
mean,
still,
you come down here, it's like, who raised all these skeletons?
and yeah, you go into the font and you start watching. Roll an intelligence check for me.
Who? Everybody or just one person?
Just one person. Actually, an Arcana check because you have operating. That will be our total friend. Yeah, you see
The only person who can operate it, yeah.
as you're swirling the waters and the water started clearing. You basically see, first of all, the water sort of freeze over.
Oh, it's cold in here.
Yeah, and it actually gets very cold. And then it's almost like you're looking down a funnel. And as you do that, you see that there's an altar, and it looks like a humanoid figure has been gutted. And as the blood flows, it starts freezing and it feeds into the funnel. And you can see, and it's very difficult to see because it's almost like being in the inside of a tornado. And you see several figures sort of, prostrating and gesticulating. You realize that this is some kind of high level ritual. At least has 4 attendants to it. And you see beyond that, you see a figure sort of floating back and forth, and you see other figures in the distance. But because you're basically seeing it inside the funnel itself, it's almost like you're seeing almost through water. And then after a while, the ice breaks and evaporates. So yeah, you realize that this is some kind of, necromantic or blood sacrificial type empowered ritual that is affecting. You suspect that the funnel is the one that's going all the way to the clouds and changing the weather. And as long as they have bodies to toss into it, they can just keep it going.
I told you there was necromancy involved somehow.
Aha! A brilliant plan arises. If we but just have them use up every single body that they have, then we'll stop.
Or they're just, captured POWs that they're sacrificing.
They could literally be sacrificing their own kind, too. It could just be orcs and goblins.
But more to the point, we do see it is there. 4 casters that we must stop. Did we get the slightest inkling of, say, do they have an entire army protecting themselves?
It seemed to you to be rather desolate there.
Right, so a strike team, i.e. us, going there is the best choice then.
Okay.
Does make the most sense.
Yep. So we should gird up and prepare, everyone.
Now, the question is, who are you bringing with you? Are you just going to be the 5 of you? Are you going to 4 of you? Are you going to break
I think we just bring his
NPCs as well?
Yeah.
I'll bring
Paladin.
Hand again.
Yeah, bring everyone, I guess.
Paladins. All the paladins and clerics.
I'll bring me and, I guess, 30 of my closest friends. Don't mind them. They were at a masquerade ball. That's why they're all wearing masks of the same type.
Sure. Sure.
You've already revealed that you're Gar. You don't have to hide your...
What are you talking about? Gar is dead. This is Tavian, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about, Leo.
So
if he has a bunch of friends who enjoy his masquerade, then, well, I suppose they're just a strange bunch. You're such a colorful character, Tavian.
Now, of course, remember that because you are having your 30 friends with you, stealth is relatively out of the question.
It's fine. Just remember
At least
that
for
we
that.
all stay a good distance away from one another. Which is supposed to always be the paddle plan, but we always just wander into every fight. So that's why I'm saying it now. We all give a good 5 foot distance from one another.